Live. Now we're live, so we'll just try to bring it. I don't know if you recognize this gentleman or not, but he was certainly missed. Stephen Healey, welcome back.
Thank you, David. It's good to be back after a relaxing week in southern England with family. So, what have I missed?
You were still checking in though, like
Oh yeah,
you were
yeah,
monitoring.
yeah. I was well. I automated all the posts in Belivers, so
Ah,
I
okay,
did. I did 8 calendar days in Belivers, so they went automatically.
okay,
Took me a day to do it, but I actually got there.
yeah. Did you have to like get permission to sneak away, or like did you have to get permission to check in on Facebook, or did you just
No,
kind of sneak it
I snuck it in. I snuck
in?
it
Yeah.
in. They're still around, still planning, still working on things, but not as much as normal. I think it would be safe to say. I didn't go anywhere near desktop.
Okay.
I was only on the mobile phone,
Right.
and it was refreshing not to be broadcasting, just to take a break for a week and
Yeah. Well, we
chill.
got to do that.
Even went in the sea, which is
Oh.
rare in the UK. But I mean, the temperature is still up until Saturday was 30 degrees, so the sea was quite warm. So we went swimming in the sea.
There's
Yeah.
one I can't say I've done. Swimming in the sea. I guess I have to come see you to do that.
We we're 2 hours away from the sea, but we've decided that we might do a lot more of it because it's not a
Yeah.
bad drive down there and spend the day. Yeah. Anyway, you've had a busy weekend, sir. You've been out and about since Friday through. Well,
Oh,
tell me
well,
about it.
earlier in the week. Well, my week starts Monday, heavily, right? You know, with show with you, and then my afternoon show, and then I do some voice tracking for some things, and so Monday's my heavy day, and then Tuesday, my city hired me to give a motivational talk to some volunteers here in Sarnia. It was about 80 people. So I did that 30-minute presentation there. And then Wednesday, I don't even remember Wednesday. It just happened.
Right.
And yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we had the second annual Blue Water Border Fest, which is
Yeah.
a big music festival. Began last year, and this year it's grown in numbers tremendously. So there were some big name acts, and from the Thursday was the country night. Pardon me. So if I'm a little hoarse, that's why. I do, even though you do a lot of talking on a microphone, it's still a lot of talking. And I think people forget that voice is a muscle, just like the rest of the.
Yeah.
And speaking of muscles, I'm sore because I did a lot of. It was a lot of standing and a lot of walking around, and this body is not normally used to that. um, and probably the more tiring part, really, than anything else, it's more of a mental drain your power is sucked away mentally.
It's the tension,
You
the tension.
know, and yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's I mean, there's a little. I don't like to say stress, but there's a little bit of stress involved because I'm doing more than just talking on the stage. I'm backstage, helping keeping things on time and doing a little, not a ton, but a little bit of coordination with the bands. And then we had some meet and greets with the bands, and it's all very expedited, right?
Right. Yeah.
And if you're 5 minutes behind with one band, if you're 5 minutes behind with four bands, you're 20 minutes behind,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just all, but it's a lot of fun. I'm not complaining at all. I was certainly thrilled to Blue Water Border Fest include me as one of their media partners and have me up on stage. I got to introduce some great big names and some local. We have a huge local scene here in Sarnia, and
Right.
yeah, it was fantastic. But I'm glad it's over.
Now you're the one needing a break. I say hello to
Yeah,
Fonz. It's
yeah. Hey, Fonz. I have to laugh when I say that. I
yeah.
sound,
Well, this is the real
well, it's
Fonz.
just I know, but it's like Richie Cunningham used to say that. Hey, Fonz. No, I'm saying it.
Takes you back, doesn't it? Takes you
It
back.
does. For those of you who are joining us, thank you so much for being here. It's nice to have Stephen Healey back joining us again. And if you want to talk to us or come on camera, you're welcome to do that. The link above is the one you want to be watching directly from, because we're broadcasting in about 10 different places right now. But we love to see your comments, and you do that by following that link up there. And you can type guest in the comments below. I do have it set up this week.
Yes.
And you can join us. Not that I don't, not that I ever want you to go away again, but I have to say, when you do go away, I still have some fun, because I reach out to our live streaming world, and I had Franco on as a guest the first week you were away, and he's just fantastic to talk with, and he's got a lot of knowledge about live streaming. And then I had Brichetti join me last week, which I don't think I've ever had her on one of my shows, so that was great. And we talked about the water crisis. I knew a little bit of it, but she really opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I've got, even though we don't have a water crisis here, I've got Coke bottles in the back of my toilet now.
Be prepared.
It was a fantastic conversation. She's just a wonderful lady to chat with as well. And Franco was in there. It was just it was fantastic to have them on.
That's the beauty of it, isn't it? We meet so many different people, and we can just sit down and have a conversation and go live on Facebook, and it just works. So.
When you've been working on some projects as well, do you want to get into that now? 5 days live.
Sure. Surely. We have put together a team of 8 people, and you can see them on screen there. As myself, Brichetti, Annie Mura, who's the founder of Repurpose.io, our good friend Erin Strayer, and also Linda West. And I can only see the top of the photo, so I'm going to say the next person is David Burrows, and you are then followed by Cheryl Piper, and of course by RJ. So 8 of us involved, and over the course of 5 days, from 6th to 10th of August, at 10 a.m. Eastern, we'll be tackling a variety of topics which will help you to improve your live shows. Because we're all learning all the time, and this is basically the team getting together and saying, right, okay, we've got some ideas, we want to share them with you, join us and learn.
I'm really looking forward to this, because every time I get involved in one of these things, it's always interesting, because there's sometimes some of the same people, but there always seems to be some new people in there that I haven't really I've sort of connected with a little bit, but not in a large way. So I'm looking forward to seeing different perspective on the different topics, right?
Well, that's it. I mean, each show. I'm getting back into it slowly. Each show has 2 or 3 co-hosts, so you're going to get a variety of opinions and ideas, and an exchange of ideas as well, because we're going to pick up on good ideas that other people have given, and we'll be able to explore those and find out how we can help everybody. So it's a win-win situation, because you get to know the 8 of us, and we want to get to know you as well, because this is networking, and one of the best ways to do it.
Yeah, that's that word that just keeps coming up in our world, doesn't it? It's you can't do one of these talk shows and not meet somebody new or learn something, especially the Be Live community. And I say that word community because it really is its own community.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's now nearly 7,200 strong, and there are thousands of shows a week actually going out on Be Live, and a wide variety of shows, number of which are on the Live Video Hub. And
how many is there now on the Live Video Hub?
158 was last count. And live shows going out every day that you can actually catch. And 5 days live is part of promoting not only the 8 people who are taking part, myself and David included, but it's also about promoting the live video hub. And as you can see there, on Monday the 6th, 10 a.m. Eastern. Well, do you want to talk about camera confidence as a teaser?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a really important topic, and I think it's a nice way to kick off the whole week, really, with that particular topic, because you and I hear it all the time. Molly Mahoney does a fantastic job of talking about it, and it's important to get people in front of that camera if they're going to do this, because I wonder sometimes how many people have got such fantastic stories and ideas, but we're not hearing about them because they're afraid to get in front of that camera, and it's an ongoing battle. I run into it all the time when I do in-person interviews, even, recorded. Yep. And and I just had a meeting with some local folks here about doing some live streaming for them, and live is scary to people because it's live, can't go away. What do you think about that?
I think that taking that first step is the most difficult one. Once you've done it, then you can actually do second one and third one, and the more you do, the more competent you get. But that first one is key, and I'm interested in hearing your ideas and Linda's and Brigette's on Monday the 6th, because we've all got a slightly different perspective.
Certainly.
And if you combine the knowledge that the three of you have, then you'll be coming up with a game plan for going live.
Yeah. I find I'm interested too, and I I don't want to be stereotypical, but I'm going to be.
Okay, no worries.
It's nothing bad. It's just a Mars and Venus thing, right? I mean, women look at getting in front of a camera differently than us men do.
Yep.
So I'm not worried about my hair. I'm just being honest, right? So I'm really curious to see that side of the perspective in the whole Camperta confidence. Oh, April's joined us. Hello, April. Let's share what she's got here. People are afraid to get in front of the camera because they believe they will be judged, so they feel inferior when they compare themselves to those of us who get in front of the camera with ease. What those people don't realize is that we have all had that fear or discomfort at one time, but we all have in common is that we all took the plunge and pushed through. I think, April, fantastic. Thanks for sharing those words. It's it is that judgment thing,
Yeah.
I think we do that, we learn that thing back when we're children in school, like what somebody else is thinking about us or saying about us, what I say what they might be saying and probably are not. But we create that up in our head though, right? But April makes a good strong point there that people are always afraid of being judged. I think, like, I would be one to say that I don't worry about what other people think. I do, but maybe not as at a stronger level than say some other people, right? I most of the time don't worry about it, but it's there. It's still like, ooh.
Yeah. What you've got to do is get the drive to actually get out the passion that you share about a topic to be more important than the fear of actually doing it.
Yeah.
So in other words, if you can psych yourself up to actually do it and go, as April said, just do it, go live on camera, then you'll find that it works.
Yeah.
But it's a very big topic.
It is, and I compare it a lot to like if you ever go to a wedding, right? Those are speeches, the dreaded speeches. Mm-hmm. And if you're in the wedding party, you're probably expected. Most people don't like to give those speeches. They don't like to get up in front of a crowd. We didn't like taking speech writing or whatever we called it in public school because we got up in front of our peers, and we're worried more about our peers judging us than we are a stranger judging us.
Indeed. Yeah, totally true.
So yeah, it'll be a great topic. April, thanks for joining us and sharing. April, you're welcome to join us on camera if you want to chat with us some more about it, or if you've got some other things you want to share.
Indeed.
Type guests in the comments below.
It's a rare opportunity because April is actually able to do so today. So April, if you can, take David's invitation to actually join us. Yeah, so that's the first show. Then there's another show you're involved in.
Yes. She has to get ready for her show at 1 p.m. All right. Well, fair enough.
All right. Okay. Have a good show.
We thought we almost had her.
Next time.
Try to
not escape permanently. All right. Okay.
Yes. It's a busy lady, that April. That's good. Thanks
Indeed.
for popping in and sharing some words, April. We appreciate that. Yeah, show promotion. This is a hot topic as well. I think this will be, we could probably do a whole several hours on this topic.
Yeah.
as all the topics really. Yeah, this is an important one too. I think it's one that gets missed a lot when people are doing live streaming. And it's okay. It's okay if you don't promote your show. It depends what level you want to go at, right? I mean, if you just want to go on and talk and on your personal timeline or something, people will show up and your immediate group will show up, and that's fine. If you want to do something on a bigger level, then and even us pros, Stephen, I think there are things that we're not doing consistently that we could be doing.
Yeah,
consistently. It's
the key word. I mean, we know all the pieces. We've assembled those over the time that we've been doing this, but we don't actually do it for every single show. Yeah. And it's like you need a personal assistant behind you.
Yeah. I need a cleaning lady, because if I could show you my studio right now, and then I go, oh, how do I get anything done? But yeah.
I mean, we've got certain levels of automation. We've got as you've got the guest bot today, we've got the ManyChat broadcasts. There are Twitter, but the thing is that the whole landscape keeps changing. Yeah, and there are things that you won't be able to do when Facebook make the changes tomorrow on the 1st of August that you could do previously. I mean, a lot of it has to be done manually, and the problem there is that whilst that makes it personal, if the person forgets, it just doesn't get done.
Well, the perfect example last week, I even put it in the post, type guest in the comments below, and I didn't set up ManyChat. Right. So I mean, a solution to that, honestly, is to have a checklist.
Yeah.
I've always believed in checklists, and anybody that in the past that's worked for me knows that if this is your responsibility, you need a checklist. And people go, "Well, I don't need a checklist. I do it all the time." Have a checklist. You are 100% guaranteed you won't miss anything.
True. I mean,
you're distracted by something else or whatever. You go, "Oh yeah, crap," and it could say it's from getting old. But if you have a checklist.
Yeah. How about a Google spreadsheet? Yeah. Down left-hand side, the actions you've got to take. Across the top, the show dates, and then tick them off as you do them.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
it's again, it's one of those things. Is how far do you want to take your show?
Yep.
If you just want to jump in live and talk, that's and whoever shows up, great. But if you want to make it professional and treat it like a business. I always say, treat it like a hobby, make hobby money. Treat it like a business. And it's more professional.
John Upson is saying we're going the right direction because pilots have got checklists. Yeah,
that's right. And they do it all the time, the same thing over and over and over. Why do they have a checklist? So they don't forget anything.
And they shouldn't forget anything, because if they forget something, then, well, ours is not as mission critical, is it?
I'm thinking if I'm trusting somebody with my life, they better have a really darn good checklist before we leave that runway.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And for
Totally
when we
agree.
land. Anyway, yeah. So I'm looking forward to those topics as well. John, you're welcome to join us as well. We can never get John on here. How come?
I don't know if he should be able to. He might do. Just type
Come on,
guest in, John, and you can join us live. This is David in Ontario, myself in Wiltshire in England, and this is our weekly show in which we join the two sides of the Atlantic together and chat about anything which is germane to live broadcasting or anything that's going on around the globe. Although it's summer at the moment and nothing's happening because all our politicians in the UK are on holiday.
Yeah, and they shouldn't be. They because you got stuff going on there.
We don't have any stuff going on here. Nothing's happening, is it, John? All right, and John's off out in
a few minutes. Everybody's got stuff to do. What's up with that?
Well, it's basically we're just enjoying the good weather.
Yeah.
So time to get out and about.
Talking about changes. Before I forget, there. Sorry.
Yeah.
The Facebook changes.
Yeah.
What's that about? Can you talk about that?
Right. Okay. Basically, in order to broadcast into groups, Facebook have decided that applications has to be approved first. So you can post direct into a group, no problem. You can share into a group, but what you can't do is let an app into a group unless
you can't what?
Let an application into the group until Facebook have authorized it. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you've got a third-party app like BeLive or Hootsuite or any of those, you have to actually, as admin, allow them to be used in the group. Yeah.
Oh.
And that's just go into settings, into group settings, go to applications, find the application you're looking for, in this case BeLive.tv, and add it. So it takes 20 seconds, and it's just so easy to do. That means that people will be able to use that application within the group. Now, in BeLive's case, it means that you've got to be a BeLive user and you've got to be a subscribed user. So it doesn't mean that everybody can use BeLive. You've got the same rights as before. You have to be a user who subscribes to BeLive to actually broadcast into a group.
Right. And I believe I did that.
Yeah. Settings.
Yeah.
Applications. I said just a one off.
Where's my settings? Settings. Where's
top
settings?
right?
In the group?
I'm not sure.
Well, I did it the other day.
Okay. No worries.
Anyway, yeah, I did it because I added the BeLive.
Yeah.
Into it. Yeah. I don't go live in groups very often. I can't remember the last time I did.
Yeah. Any group I actually go, well, two groups I go live into. One is BeLivers, the official BeLive TV group, and the second one is one of my own groups, LVS 18, which is video based. But other than that, no. I mean, theoretically, practically, if you are a member of a group with 100,000 members besides you, you as an individual can go live in there at any time using the native Facebook app.
Right. And
you can reach out to those 100,000 people. But it would be, well, it's not polite to do so, is it really? You should ask the admin of the group first and say, right, I'd like to go live into your group. This is my topic. I want to go live on Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Can I do it? So you ask, and unless you're actually doing something which they don't like, you'll get permission to do it, which means you've got the backing of the group admins too. So we can go live in any group, but to go live with more than one person on screen, we need something like BeLive.tv.
Yes. And I think that's, you can go live in any group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But, you should just kind of out of etiquette ask, make sure it's okay.
Yes.
It hasn't seemed to. I've never really run into it where it seems to be a problem. But then again, I guess if it were to become one,
Well,
that person just gets shut down pretty quickly.
People don't realize that they can actually do it. That's the one thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if we had all 7,200 members of the Belivers group go live at the same time in the group, well, there you are. That would be something. That would be quite something. Right. Which brings us on to another feature in groups, which has been now released globally, and that's the watch party.
Mm-hmm.
In the all groups now have watch party, where before it was just the chosen few. Now, for that's a great tool to actually run tuition groups with, because if you do a pre-recorded video, upload it to a Facebook page, you can then go into the group, say we're watching this video, and you can actually introduce it. Then with your group of students, you can play the video. At any point in the video, you can stop it and answer questions. Yeah. So they're actually asking the tutor, the person who actually made the video. So for that, it is brilliant. I've yet to think of a second use though. Yeah, but people must be using it for Facebook to have released it globally. Yeah,
I guess so. I guess politics maybe could be one where maybe you have a list of videos that you've uploaded that from. I don't know if there's copyright issues in there or how that works, but.
Well, if it's a public video on Facebook, you can play it. If you can find it on Facebook, you can play it.
Right. Yeah. So you could probably, topic discussions, I suppose, is the idea from it.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to put together, say, an indie band show and take music from indie groups, then you could do that, and you could actually sort of cue 12 songs and talk about the merits of each band or promote.
Wouldn't that be a great integration with BeLive?
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Yeah, it would. It would.
I saw another feature in a group.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember which group it was, and I'm trying to remember what the feature was now.
Okay.
I don't have it on mine. I'm just looking, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool," but I can't remember what it is now. And that's true.
Okay. Well, whilst you're thinking, there is another feature which has been released in South Africa. We know it's been released in South Africa because Brigitte spoke about it, and she's in Cape Town. And basically, it's the ability to upload a video to Facebook on your business page, and then set the option for it to be a premiere, which means right, okay, which means that you can then play that video as if it were live. Now, that's an interesting development given everything that Facebook has said in the past about pretending that you're live. They're now saying you can officially pretend to be live, upload a video, set it as a premiere, schedule a date and time, and it will start. Now, it could now be a situation where doing that, you could be interactive, because as well as people actually watching the live show, you can join in the show in the comments. Yeah. So you can give live responses to questions and comments that people make throughout the video. So it's like a public watch party, really.
Yeah. So I could be. Yeah. Well, I do remember seeing that, and I did try it on a private page.
Yeah.
To see how it works, and of course it worked. The only thing I thought about that was, like, if people are asking questions, I know I can live response if I'm sitting here, but I can't really talk to them live though. No,
that's true. I mean, I think you'd have to have a follow-up show and say, right, I'll answer these questions in 15 minutes. It's experimenting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've been given a new feature, or some of us have been given a new feature to try out to actually expand our audience, and it's a great way, because if your show, I mean, we're global, So we're going out at 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. in the UK, 6 p.m. in South Africa. But if I wanted to broadcast at your 10 p.m., that would be 3 in the morning for me,
Right.
which is not on. So I could schedule a broadcast to go out at 3 in the morning, and then when I woke up the morning after, I could go back to it and see what had happened. I mean, it gets away from this networking thing because I'm not sold yet, as you can probably tell.
Yeah, well, and I was sort of thinking, well, like if you're going to do that, like why not just upload a recorded video?
Because you're now allowed to pretend that it's live.
Yeah, recorded live.
Yeah, I think it could be more tied in with marketing. It's more tied in with marketing than it is networking. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard anywhere about like when's Facebook going to let us monetize our videos?
That's a good one. At the moment, they are chasing their tails, trying to sort out the privacy issues.
Yeah.
I think once they've got over that, and they seem to be making a reasonable job of doing that, then they can concentrate on making money again. I mean, they took a bath on the stock market last week because their attention was not.
25%.
I know that's quite a drop, isn't it? Imagine you wake up in the morning, you're Mark Zuckerberg, and you just lost $11 billion overnight. I mean, how does that feel?
I don't know how it feels.
It probably feels like if you drop $100 bill in town.
Well,
by accident.
Yeah, I guess, like some people might say, well, so he lost 11 billion. It's okay because he's got 600 billion.
Yeah.
So what's the big deal? Well, 11 billion is 11 billion, no matter how you spell it.
True.
That's the way I look at it. 100 is 100, but 11 billion is still 11. Sure, yeah, I still got lots left, but my shareholders aren't happy.
No. I mean, companies
there's people to answer to. So, like I say, 11 billion is 11 billion, whichever way you spell it. So
it's all about making money.
He's not happy. It's a business, right? He's business. That's what he's doing, and doing a fantastic job at it. Was he in the right place at the right time? Who knows what the real story is there? That's always that's a debatable.
Did you see the film?
I did.
So did I. I think it was sanitized for our entertainment, but it was an interesting story nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean the basic stories there, though, of him and the other guys, and obviously there's some truth to that because the other guys got paid a bunch of money.
Yeah, oh, true, they did. Yeah, and
so,
they're now into Bitcoin, aren't they? In a big way.
Are they? Okay, I didn't know.
They've moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind moving on from that. And there's another good topic. How do you make money at this thing that we do? Right? How do we make money doing what you and I are doing sitting here today?
That's an excellent question. All right, okay. And John wants, just before we move on, John wants to know whether it's US billions or UK billions. I think it was 11 billion US, John. So it's not quite as bad as UK.
That would be my guess.
Yeah, I think so. Or is that? I don't know. That's upside down. It's my first day back, John. Be gentle. Asking me to think as well. Yeah, making money on live video is a long-term thing, isn't it? It's not. You can't just pitch your tent and say, right, okay, I'm going to entertain you for an hour each week, and you're going to pay me. You can't do that. What you have to do, I think, is, I don't know what you think, is to actually build a reputation first. Yep. And you do that by actually helping people consistently. If you sort of set out your stall and say, right, okay, I know about these things, I'm happy to share that knowledge, then that's the beginning of creating a reputation. Yeah. And actually getting in there and answering the questions and helping people is the way you actually build status. And once you've arrived at a certain status, then you can start to monetize. I mean, what are your thoughts about monetizing?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's there's different ways. I mean, I'm always looking for sponsors and advertisers, but that's something that I have to be careful with because of policies, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just a matter of tagging them in a post and saying their name during a broadcast. There's no Facebook law against that, right? So
No, there isn't. No.
um, and even the logo markings, I'm not 100% clear on that one either. I've had a hard time finding the answers to that. But for example, so I do some motivational speaking. So the city hired me to do a presentation. So why would they do that? Based on them knowing me, right?
That's
Who
it.
I am,
Yeah.
what I'm about. So I become an influencer, There's that, and there, things like the Blue Water Border Fest time of the event. There are people who recognize the value in David Burrows being there doing a live remote, like a radio station would, but video on Facebook, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And yes, they could have their own following, but I have my own page following, and that's a whole new audience for them. So
that's true. That's
value in that, right?
A lot of value.
Yeah. So there's that, and I do live stream events as well. I have a pay-per-view system that I can set up for boxing events and that sort of thing. So that's kind of a lead off from that. But unless you're really getting big numbers that we'd all love to have, we're not getting paid to be here today. But This is how we create an audience and build our reputation and the relationships that go along with that, and then knowledge. And then I have people reach out to me, hey, can you help me? Yeah, okay, sure. And I'll do a little bit, and then if the conversation keeps happening all the time, then I say, listen, I don't have a problem helping you out. I can give you more time, for this fee.
Yep. Well, that's fair. That's the way it should have worked.
Some people go, I could just Google it. Well, then you should do that.
Google is not able to. Well, it gets complicated if you've got second, third, and fourth questions.
Google is not experienced.
What, Alexa? What time is it?
The time is 5:37 p.m.
If your question is simple and straightforward, then Google and Alexa and Siri can all help. But if you want practical assistance in doing something, then you can't beat somebody who knows what they're talking about. Talking of whom, well, say hello to Jason.
Hey, Jason, nice to have you join us here today. You're welcome to come on screen and chat with us some more. And anybody out there watching, you're welcome to join us. Say hello. Throw us a curveball.
Yeah.
Let's give Stephen a hard time for leaving me for 2 weeks.
Now, we've talked in the past about podcasts. And podcasts have a different audience, and they're easier to do than live video because it's voice only, and you can just roll up and speak for 10, 15 minutes and record a podcast which can go onto iTunes, and that's absolutely brilliant. If you ever want to do a multi-person show, then you can't do it the same way because you don't get the same quality. So you need a system to do it. And I discovered one, which you may already know about, David. And it's called Ring R, R-I-N-G-R. And basically that is the podcast equivalent of BeLive.tv. Because you can invite up to, well, as many people as you want to actually join you in a broadcast, which is then where you could do it live, but you could then record that podcast. And again, instead of having one person actually talking, you've got quite a few people talking about a particular topic. So that's RNGR, and there is a trial of it. I'm going to take the trial and see what it's like. Because I quite enjoy just chatting as well as being live on video. So it gives us another option to explore. Have you found it, or have you found? Right. Okay. There you are. There is a free trial, and I'm going to give that a whirl. Do you fancy joining me
Yeah.
in the free trial? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll give that a whirl and see what we can do. Because I think if you get together, you take a topic and you talk for 15 minutes or so, which is only 7.5 minutes each, then you can basically then use that to promote awareness
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. I can see you reading interested.
I am. Yeah. Sorry, I'm listening.
No. I'm. The fact that you're actually reading it is wonderful, because that's basically what the first thing I did was I just went down all the features and said, what? Because this is not your standard recording. This is high quality voice recording. Yeah.
And for a reasonable price.
And for a reasonable price, yeah.
That's that's sorry, go ahead.
You're also getting the hosting in that price as well.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, if you look at things like SoundCloud, and we're not saying anything more until we've actually had a chance to give it a spin and try it out. But it does look very promising.
So similar to Be Live, I send you a link.
Yeah.
And that joins us together in a.
Well, basically you invite me via email.
Okay.
Yeah. So you put my email address in, or you put 3 or 4 email addresses in, and you then basically can all come on air and then broadcast to the world. So that's Ringer. And the second item I've got this week, which is one that John Upton knows all about. Back on July 21st, John Upton said to me, do you use Camtasia or Snagit? And I said, no, I use Screencast-O-Matic. And he left it at that. Little did I know that there's a very special offer at the moment. I'm just going to post the details in our chat, David. You can actually buy version 9 Camtasia and the latest version of Snagit for $20.
Oh wow.
Now I wouldn't promote this if it didn't work. So I did it this morning. I paid my $20. I downloaded a full version of Camtasia. I installed it. I put the code in. Code worked first time. I now have Camtasia on my desktop. I then repeated that with Snagit. I now got Snagit on my desktop, fully licensed versions. They're not the latest versions, but if you were to go and buy Camtasia now, you'd be paying $250. Mm-hmm. Now, to me, $20 for a 2-year-old version has got to be the bargain of the day. So I put the link in the chat. Only fortunately it runs for another 2 days, I think. So anybody looking out for Camtasia, and once
I've heard Camtasia, but tell everybody what that does.
All right. I think John would agree that Camtasia is the Rolls-Royce of video editing software.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that for Mac?
It's for Mac and Windows.
Okay.
And basically, it will let you edit your videos. You can put pre-roll, post-roll, mid-roll. You can add animations. You can add text and graphics. You can jazz it up as much as you want. And it is if you ask somebody how do you edit your videos and they reply Camtasia, then the odds are they're doing it very seriously, is what I'm saying.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And Snagit is like a screen capture.
Correct, yeah. Snagit is a good screen capture system because not only can you do the screen capture, you can actually edit the picture afterwards, the image afterwards, and do all sorts of wonderful things to it. And John's explaining a bit more.
Okay, for a guy who had to run away, he's still around.
Must be raining.
5 other items in the $20 bundle. One of these is Reflector. It allows you to broadcast your phone or tablet on your PC or Mac. Includes recording. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
I've heard of that.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
so where do I do this? Every time I talk to you, it costs me money.
Now, the link, I posted a link. I posted a link in our chat. $20.
Oh, here. Okay.
$20 for version 9.
So I can share that with our audience.
Oh yeah, by all means. As I say, it's only good for another about 40 hours, I think, but it is the bargain of the century.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's $20 for version 9 of Camtasia. It includes Snagit, and as John has just said, it also includes, which I sort of glanced over and missed, it also includes something
Other
else.
stuff.
Other stuff. Reflector 3. It's okay. Yeah. So there you are. The bargain of the week.
This is okay. So this is Humble.
Yeah, basically a bit of background. Humble are basically they, and John will correct me again if I'm wrong, but Humble are partly a charitable organisation, and they get effectively old versions of software which they can then sell on at a discount. In this case, a huge discount, $20 as opposed to $250, and they are primarily selling games. So you can get versions of games and you pay peanuts for them. Yep. So all version of the game, no problem at all. But this time they have ventured into this commercial software, which suits us as live broadcasters, because Camtasia will allow you to edit and Snagit will allow you to take stills. So great bargains. And
Okay.
it's been going for quite a while. And it's, if you think of AppSumo, this is sort of AppSumo for games, but the difference is that you can actually pay in addition, right? Okay, if you pay the $20, that's it. It's a one-off fee. You don't have to do anything other than that. But if you want to be on the inside track to getting software as they release it, then you can pay $12 a month to their members club. Yeah. Okay, and that gives you an inside track on anything that they're marketing.
Okay, so I'm there now.
Yeah.
But I don't. So
you'd have to click the link I just gave you.
Yeah, I did.
All right. Okay.
So that's where I'm at.
Okay, hang on a minute. Just let me go. unless I'm. Yeah, it says at the top, pay $1. Yeah. It's 2 days left, and if you scroll down to pay $20, you'll see Camtasia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Camtasia, Snagit.
Yeah. And a discount off their membership, which I've just explained. But basically, Camtasia and Snagit for $20, and everything above is included in that too. And
all of these up here?
Oh yeah, you get those as well.
The display fusion, the superposition.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Outfox. I don't even know what some of this stuff is.
Well, no. If you click on one of them, just any one at random.
VoiceBot.
You get an explanation of what it is.
Command of your games with your voice using VoiceBot, sending commands to your games and applications. Oh, okay, well that's interesting. Well, there it is. It's on the screen, and I can also post it in our comments. Don't know what I just did there, but that's okay.
Right. Okay. And okay, John's given some further explanation.
Yeah. Software authors see it as a way to contribute to charity. You can choose who get what of the $20. Author, Humble, and charity. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I guess, if there's older versions lying around, some people might go, yeah, like I use Corel Video Studio.
Yeah.
For my video editing, but I paid a lot of money, a couple $100, whatever. But if I was just doing some basic stuff or whatever, an older version does the job. That makes sense, right?
It does. And basically what you're actually doing is buying into that software at a low cost. And if you want the latest version, then you can upgrade. So you can go from Camtasia 9 to Camtasia 2018 for $99,
Right.
as opposed to paying $250. So
I guess there's a bit of an advantage there for the company's software as well, because okay, it's kind of like we're giving this to you, and then if you really like it and want more, you might pay the $99, and then they increase revenue.
yeah, and John's latest comment.
Corel Video Studio, very patriotic. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm
Canadian
not sure
software?
what you mean by
Is that Canadian
Um,
software?
that. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I know there was a guy in the UK
Mm-hmm.
who he doesn't anymore, but he made a whole bunch of video tutorials for Corel Video Studio so much and did so well at it that the Corel Video recognized him as a beta tester and all that. So, okay, I didn't know that, John.
See, you learn something on this show every Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern.
The overwhelming knowledge that comes out on this show regularly, I just tell you, it's amazing.
Incredible. And we've given you a bargain this week, and which is good. It's good. It's good to share. I mean, if you find about something like this, then you share it, as John did with me. And then I didn't buy it. Then I saw it again in the Udemy studio and thought, okay, $20, Camtasia. Yeah. Right.
Speaking of tips, and John, thanks for that. I didn't know that. John's a smart guy, and I'm feeling smarter because of him today. Here's a tip that I started implementing. Sort of implementing. So for today, I haven't done it on our show yet because I just haven't implemented it, but I should. On my live show this afternoon, so I have 3 guests every week.
Yep. Okay.
So what I do after the show ends is I go back and I take a piece of pen and a paper and I write down the times. I go through the time that I spoke about something.
Yeah.
The time that I mentioned something. And then I see when I started talking to my first guest and I write down that time. And each guest, I write their time in. So if you go into the comments and you type in 10:05, once you enter all that in, it becomes a link.
Yep.
And people can click on that time link and go right exactly to what you're talking about. And it also tags the people in it, and it gives you an opportunity to go back again and re-tag everybody again. Thanks to Stephen Healey for joining me today. Watch our conversation at 10:05, blah, 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 blah. Now, it does take time. If you're doing a 1-hour show like mine, where there's a whole lot of things, it does take time, and it can be a little frustrating because the timer counts down. It doesn't count up. So you kind of have to hover your mouse over to figure out the time. But one of the things I'm going to start doing is, for example, right now, so we're going to go Stephen Healey.
Yes.
Is awesome.
It's very kind of you. I pressed there back and it's getting compliments already. Thank you.
So in the comments here in Be Live on the control side of things, Stephen Healey is awesome. So I just sent that out as a comment. So now when you go back, where did it go? We can make a liar out of me. You know what I'm doing, right? Oh, Stephen Healey is awesome at 12:53. Right.
Okay. Yep.
So I can go back and set that all in. So when a guest comes on, have it ready to go and type in, Stephen Healey joins the show.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's a brilliant tip. A brilliant tip. I like that one. I should adopt that, most definitely.
And it's very handy if you go back and look at any of my show, the show live. I've started doing that, and of course, when you first set up your show, I tag the person that's going to be on the show, and then it gives you an opportunity to do it again, and they get tagged in it and they see it. It increases your reach. I'm telling you.
Right. Okay.
I've seen a huge increase in show viewership, etc. too. Right. So there you go. That's my smart tip of the day.
That is a smart tip too.
Listen to John. Back to John, Mr. Smart. The corporation started in Toronto, was listed on the local stock exchange. They moved the corporate headquarters to Austin, Texas. They were listed on NASDAQ not long ago went back to private and delisted.
Right.
I was listening to local stocks. Oh, I saw that
Just,
twice.
just one word difference in that.
Okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
All right. We learn something
Basket
every
full of
day.
knowledge there. I would have never known.
No.
I thought it was a UK product all this time.
Well, I mean, back in the day, it was a heavily, well, probably still is in terms of numbers, but it was the market leader.
Yeah, it's a really great product. I have no
Yeah.
problems with it. You do need a pretty good machine to run it. I'll say that. But any video editing, really, you need. What's Camtasia like for sucking the power out of a machine?
It runs okay on mine. It's lighter on my CPU than going live is. Let's put it that way.
Oh, okay.
So, and talking of which, the CPU usage by Be Live keeps going down. When you're hosting a show, if you look at your CPU usage, you'll find it's just diving down.
So they're doing fantastic changes there.
Yeah, it's the things you don't see that sometimes make all the difference. The quality of the video, quality of the sound, the gradual changes, gradual improvements, and the lowering of the CPU usage all help to make the system better and easier to use.
And you know what sucks a lot of power?
Go on.
Chrome.
What was it?
Chrome.
I heard you. You should have whispered that. Now, Chrome is a heavy duty browser. I mean, we use about 20% of the 100% that it gives us. It's not a lightweight browser anymore. But it does what it says. I mean, the beauty of it is they started WebRTC, which is why we're here today, or the how of we're being here today. So they do more good than they do harm.
Can you believe we're almost an hour?
No, once we get talking, that's it. And we've been joined by John. John helps us along the way, and Jason and April as well. So it's just good to get together. I feel back. I feel good. I feel ready, ready to take on the shows that we're doing next week, Monday through Friday, through 10 a.m. Eastern. Myself, David, and 6 of our friends will be live on air and helping you to improve your live videos. So that's 5 days live with myself, and you can see Brigetti and Annie Mora and Erin Strayer and Linda West and David Burrows and Cheryl Piper and RJ Redden, and that's the team that will be bringing you ways to improve your live shows on BeLive.tv, and it will be live at 10 a.m. And you can obviously catch the repeats later. And who knows where this is going to lead. I just had a thought about creating a Udemy course from it. We're all co-authors. Who knows what could happen. So this is the beginning of something. And
do you know about this?
Right.
Suspender. Okay.
That's yes. Yeah. It does exist. And it does, in fact, what happens is, the mechanics behind it is simple. And John will correct me again, he always is there to do that. One of the of our friendship is the great suspender. Basically, if you've got 20 tabs open, you can't possibly be looking at more than one tab at a time. Like I'm on the Be Live tab at the moment. I've got other tabs open, but I'm on the Be Live tab. So what Great Suspender does, it says, well, you've not looked at that tab for the last hour. You don't really need it, do you? And it reduces the CPU usage of that tab. Now, multiply that over 19 other tabs, then you've got the potential for reducing Chrome's use of power. Okay, so the Great Suspender, as John recommended, is free, and it's a Chrome extension. You can download it from the Chrome store.
I have to check that out.
We've had some good tips this week.
More and more knowledge everywhere.
Indeed. It's
fantastic. I'm really looking forward to being a part of 5 Days Live. Thanks for inviting me to join that. And I know some other things coming up with Be Live too, I think, that we'll be able to talk about soon. Very good. Well, John, Jason and April and whoever else happened to be watching, thanks so much for joining us today. The hour flies by when you're having a good time here. We always have a good time chatting, and we look forward to whoever shows up here. I'm looking forward to managing B for B on Thursday. Peter.
Right, okay.
Blabbing for Britain, okay.
I'm looking forward to you managing B4B on Thursday. Peter was a bit wild. Peter Stewart, who we all know well, because I was away, he hosted Blabbing for Britain episode 136. So thank you for that, John. I will be back on Thursday with episode 137.
Awesome.
Yeah, see, hosts set the tone of the show, don't we?
Absolutely. Sometimes we lose control, but whatever. It's okay.
Indeed.
I haven't caught a episode of Blabbing for Britain live yet because I'm usually sleeping by then. But one of these times, I'm gonna surprise you one of these times. Everybody, thanks so much for watching, broadcasting to your community. We do enjoy it when you come around and say hello to us. Thanks for everybody who did make comments today. We appreciate the knowledge out there, John and April and everyone else. If you enjoyed this show, give us a 10. Type 10 in the comments. We want the 10s. And if you didn't enjoy the show, then don't say anything. And if you're watching a replay, let us know that you're watching a replay by typing replay. Helps us know where everybody's coming from. He nearly sent all of us blood pressures through the roof. Well, that's Peter Stewart.
All right. Okay. different host, different style.
I'll be live later this afternoon at 3:30 on the show Sarnia page. The show live with David Burrows and 3 guests. We're talking about family fun days. We're talking about communities in bloom. A great one to check out.
Okay.
And the Fidgets Comedy Group has an improv class coming up. So we're going to have a lot of fun, as we always do. Stephen, thanks so much, buddy. Appreciate you. It's nice to have you back. I did miss you.
Thank you. That's totally mutual. It's difficult. I'm just happy to be back and in the harness and actually enjoying ourselves on live video again. So thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Until next time. Bye for now.